All right, welcome to Final Fantasy League. We're in week one. We have our first feature match of the league. I got Alex here with me tonight. How's it going?
Going well.
Great. So
Glad
we,
to be here.
yeah, so we got a matchup here. We have Georgie, who I'm going to be watching, who's at 2-2. So he's finishing out his week. And he's up against Renaud, who's at 0-0. So this will be his first match. What's going on in his hand over there?
So he had to take a mulligan. Looks like he's a green, black, white deck.
Okay.
We have a Summon Fenrir, which is the saga creature, gets you a land, draws you a card later on. We've got Shambling something, which is the black recursion creature,
Okay.
a white Auracite, and a Primal Garuda.
All right. So some things to do here. We got Corner Blight Black Mages is going to be the first play from Georgie here. He looks to be, I mean, he was looking to be red black. He has two mountains in hand. He has a self destruct. He has Call the Mountain, Chocobo, Mycedian Elder. His draw for the turn was this will be the first of the pronunciation challenges here. I think it's Gubu Gardener, the green mana creature. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
And we
so
saw,
that's a very out of place card with what the rest of his deck seems to be, but and he doesn't have green mana either. But
yeah, kind of wondering what that'll be about, but I'm sure he has a reason.
yeah, I
He got
mean
it off to a good start,
yeah,
so.
he's playing some number of green cards to be sure. Um, yeah, so he did decide to play the Mycedian Elder here rather than call the Mountain Chocobo, even though that might have been a bit better for mana. I guess he just wants to get the extra ping damage here with his wizard token. Yeah, Call the Mountain
Yeah, I
Chocobo has
don't
been
blame
a
him.
pretty strong card so far. Like it's a very unusual card for red to get at common.
It
I'm finding
is.
like it's kind
Yeah,
of like a 4 for 1. I mean, yeah, it's 10 mana, but
it
like
is.
it's really
You know,
weird.
you get the flashback is a lot more relevant than I expected. Red's okay with a lot of the stronger red decks want to go long compared to other formats.
Yeah, I mean the red black deck wants it because it's two spells for the wizard pings.
Hmm.
The red blue deck wants it because it triggers their 4 mana and up twice. The red green deck wants it because of the landfall. The red white deck is the one deck that is not making the best use of it, but yeah, very unusual card to see. Very very strange departure from what we usually get from red cards. It's like almost like a value card in a weird way.
Yeah, it's so here we're offering the double block, which isn't something you want to take.
Yeah.
This creature can come back pretty easily,
All right.
so
We
you'd
got
be
some
sacrificing a lot.
we got some noodles here. Instant ramen.
We do.
Yeah.
Uh,
This is a very this is a that screams to me as a the epitome of a week one card, right? You just put it in your deck. You need a couple more playables. As soon as you open a couple packs, cards like that are going to get weeded out most likely.
Ramen is surprisingly decent in
Yeah.
some decks, just because it does trigger your artifact synergies, it triggers your non-creature spell synergies, and it just draws a card.
Yeah, I figure with what
But
his colors seem to be, it's not going to be at its best.
yeah, with this, it doesn't
I mean,
seem
look,
too great.
I'm playing Magic Pot until I open a pack, right? So like we all scrounge for
Yeah.
playables in week one, unless we want to go crazy with our colors.
Oh, absolutely. This next turn's going to be interesting because we've been holding on to two removal spells
Yeah, it's just
this
these.
whole time.
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
Georgie's creatures kind of have keyword not great, which means you don't want to spend a removal on it.
yeah, I expect we drew a T-Rex-R off with the noodles, and I expect we'll just see that come down.
And
Although we did just get an Excalibur 2, which I believe is the
that's the life
weapon
gain.
that
Yeah.
benefits. Yeah, life gain. So we might see. I could see an Excalibur into a Primal Garuda, just
Okay.
because the Excalibur will get benefited by the T-Rex-R.
I mean, if you do is drawing the Excalibur, he's not sacrificing his ramen, but we don't always have the foresight there. Yeah, this is a card that requires
He
a
drew the
yeah,
Excalibur, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a very specific card, the Excalibur. I mean, it's how much to equip? Three?
I believe so.
Ah,
I have
and you have to
to.
gain two life before it's like even matters. It asks a lot. It gives quite a bit if you can get there though.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, because it goes on the creature, it itself. I don't believe gets the counters.
Oh, really?
Let me.
I I
Oh
I
no, no, it
no no. I'm pretty
does.
sure it gets
Okay,
the charge scout. Yeah,
yes,
that would be
that does mean
completely
it's
like it's
yeah. So
already
it is
very
still.
hard to use, but
I am looking at his pool, and there are. He does have a Minwu, which is the lifelink cleric.
okay. Looks like he's gonna
He's
self destruct his bird here just to get rid of this Garuda. I mean, it represents a lot of flying
that's
damage.
yeah. I don't blame him. At this point, he's at 11. He's winning the race if he removes creatures.
Yeah, so on turn 7, he gets his mana dork out. Left in hand, he has three lands and fire magic. So fire magic can sort of be an emergency button here if he feels like he needs to wipe things away of three toughness or less. But otherwise, unlikely to get cast for the time being.
Yeah, that's a rough hand to have. Is we're probably seeing this T-Rex or come down, and that's going to be a huge 6 mana trample muster move
And I mean,
threat.
this 3/3 shambling, we'll call it Seath. Uh, I mean, this card's like kind of dorky, kind of unassuming. It kind of just attacks with like it's a 3/3 with no abilities, comes to play tap, but it's been annoying this game. Like it's attacked for a lot of damage.
It has.
Oh,
Yeah, I
do you
think
only get one counter per instance of life gain?
I believe so.
Oh no, I thought it was.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
thought it was you get a every time you gain life you
Oh
get that
no,
trigger.
that would be much
Oh
better.
no,
No, it's only each instance.
yikes. Okay,
So
I'm liking the card less and less, and I started there.
I think it's not the best card, but as you said, we're all struggling to make playables. I believe you said that this is Renaud's first
Yeah,
match of the season.
yeah. So he's zero
So yeah,
zero.
this is
There's a couple cards I've seen already that would probably be on my short list of among the first cards to cut. But
yeah,
if he does or when he does take a loss, right? We got this Gaius here who's going to get rid of, I assume, a non-token. So he'll lose the wizard and yeah,
probably
not a very
I'm
impactful Gaius here, but
yeah. And you got rid of a 1/3, so went pretty even. Played a 3/2, you take those. In this board state, you just kind of have to.
yeah, at 8 life with only 7 toughness here against this Rexar, he's in a bit of trouble. We'll say.
Yeah. You could draw a Bard's Bow, so now our cards, we have an Orsight and a Bard's Bow in hand.
So he could block and then fire magic X equals 2, I guess, but this Auracite is gonna basically run him out of options.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, he could have done some sort of block and
pretty
then tried to
doomed.
do 2 damage with the fire magic. Even that he might not have survived. But now he
And
certainly
that's the
cannot.
concede.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
it looks like one thing that can happen with these black-red decks, at least I've found in normal draft, is you can just run out of steam if you don't have card draw. Because you want to be playing you want to be playing these cards which generate wizards, which is your that's not your payoff. Your payoff is your spells, but then you want to play a bunch of cheap spells to trigger the wizards easily, and that
Yeah.
leads to emptying your hand quicker than you'd like.
Yeah. So he did draw the black red part of his deck. He is straight up 3 colors. Like his mana base is 7/7/7 and a green black duel and a crossroads village. So he's evenly split across all the colors here. So Definitely just
Looks to
he just
be
drew the black and red cards, but he does have about as many green
yeah.
cards.
Looks to be the same on
Okay,
this side of things. There are a couple of interesting cards. I noticed there's a Cloud of Darkness, which is
okay,
the
that's a
five
nice one. Yeah,
mana, yeah, 5 mana minus X, really good card. There's a Chocobo Racetrack, which is interesting, but I can see it in these kind of slower early rounds having a 2/2. Turning every land drop into a 2/2 could be pretty good.
yeah. I think in our format where the games are going to go a bit longer and be a bit more clunky, a card like that can have a bit more room to breathe. Even in
Yeah.
draft, I've heard it can be okay. Like it looked
In the
slow,
right
but
decks.
yeah, I think it can. That's a card
Yeah.
that's not as bad as it looks.
Yeah, we did need to mulligan again,
Hmm.
and we have a. So we chose to keep 4 lands, a Cloud of Darkness, and a T-Rexar.
Okay.
So kind of going for that very, very late game
Yeah, we have no castable
focused.
spells as of yet here. He's got another forest, and then he's got
Let's
a blitzball shot, which is the pump spell. He's got 2 red cards, and he's got cornered by black mages, which requires 2 black mana. So a bit of a
yeah
hopeful keep here.
slows.
He does have the surveil, and he sees 2 mountains on top, so he gets the bailout more or less immediately here.
Yeah, over here we drew a Grahatia, which is a 5 mana
Huh.
card. Oh, but now we get a good one. We get a Tifa Lockhart off the top.
Huh.
Which,
Interesting that he put both mountains in the graveyard because this turn he could have kept both mountains. He could flashback the Esper Origins, draw the other mountain, but he decided against it.
yeah, but I can. Oh, because it
Yeah, let's look at the top card.
takes off the land. Yeah, interesting.
Yes, that just goes to the Elder. I think getting that Esper Origins going might have been the move, but yeah. So Tifa
Yeah.
Lockhart, just
Okay.
on its own, not very threatening, but just combine it with a couple cards in the set, and
Yeah.
it can be quite menacing.
If we have ways to get extra lands out, then yeah, Tifa exponential increases to
Yeah.
power are pretty extreme.
Yeah, Ride the Shoe Puff has been the one that I've seen go quite well
Yeah, I can see that.
with that because every land gets a counter and a double. So
Okay, and it looks like we got the Esper.
yeah,
We were holding out to get the 1 extra damage off the Black Mage.
well, every damage counts. Let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, so since still has most of the quite a few of the same cards he had in his opening hand, he's drawn the Final Days, which is that sorcery that makes two twos.
Okay, yes, the flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The first time I played with any cards in the set was an IRL draft we did after the pre-release. I didn't play the pre-release, but I got together with some people, and I picked that card very high. I was like 4 mana, two twos. That sounds great. And then one of my friends was
Oh.
like, "Hey, they're tapped." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't have picked it as high."
It's it looks really cool, but it just I've struggled to see it find a home.
Like,
I think in the right black green deck, it might be worth it. But yeah, coming in tapped is a huge
I
downside.
mean, I have very shamefully paid 6 mana to flash it back to make one tap 2/2. It's not a thing I want to repeat, but the card is it yeah the tapped really limits it. So attacking here with
Yeah.
his saga, he does have a blitzball shot in hand. That's
That's
the trick.
and I think there's you can't really block here because it's just such an effective bluff. If you if there's anything on his side, then we just get blown out, right? You have 2 legendary creatures here.
I mean,
I mean, you can do this.
I think
It's
if I'm Georgie, I'm snapping off my pump spell here.
oh, absolutely.
I want this thing gone.
Um,
This 3/5
you do have
is
the
quite powerful.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Okay, so we decide not to decide that if there's a trick there, this 3/5 is too important to lose.
I mean, he's at
Unfortunately,
19. He can take four. It's
oh
fine.
yeah, our hand isn't looking great. We've got an Excalibur, which
Yeah,
isn't very useful without life gain. We've got this shambling Clurth, which is
yeah,
much less useful than it was the first game, I think.
yeah. It came out on turn
Now
three and
there's an
just
actual
had
board.
more or less clean attacks throughout the match.
Yeah, so we're going to go for this Cloud of Darkness, kill the Black Mage.
Yeah,
I
I
like
mean, he
that.
could save it with a Blitzball shot, but that does not
I
seem
don't
worth it.
think. No.
Yeah,
What
I could see
is.
Georgie. Maybe he wants to get this 3/5 off the board before he starts destroying other things.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
he has a
absolutely.
suplex and he has a corner by black mages, but neither of those will kill the 3/5. So,
So it looks like that's a full control. Okay, so he's just letting it go through.
it was just asking him to order his triggers. That's all that
Oh,
was.
got it, because he had both.
Yeah.
My bad. Um,
Yeah. So suplex, not
I
really. I mean, suplex will get around the Graha ability though if he wants to suplex the Cloud of Darkness.
I mean, I'd expect an attack here because we have the 6 mana destroy a creature held up, so
Yep.
there's not any good blocks.
Yeah, and the suplex.
There's no good blocks
And
here
I mean, can
for
you
Renaud.
just take eight also? Like,
That's a tough question. Um,
depends who you are.
and I personally, I would probably just take 8. You One of the problems is with this Fenrir, if you block it, it's going to go away next turn anyway.
Yep, he's just gonna take the eight here.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's not an easy spot to be in.
Interesting what he wants to do now. Cornered by black mages, he's gonna draw. He's gonna draw a card. Um,
Okay, so he goes for it anyway,
yeah. Okay.
because
And yeah,
he's
Tifa
okay
wasn't doing
with
anything anyway.
yeah. No, you just get a card.
And
Got
now
a
he's
town greeter, which is good chump blocker, might get us some life.
right, he's just gonna keep the board clear as he can. He's
And we
removing
top deck
everything
another town.
but the 3/5. And okay, so here's that. We'll call it Seath.
Yeah,
Comes into play tapped here. So
and
is that
we get a land, but it's
that's two
not gonna help
infantries. Yeah.
much.
All right. Ooh, we got the salvagers here. That's sort of like the creature that drains when your creatures die.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, the
that could be an
Abra,
annoyance here
whatever.
at 6 life.
Oh yeah, that card is absurdly threatening at this level of life.
He's gonna
Uh,
start by
it's just
laughing mad. It looks like discarding a land. Interesting.
that makes sense.
Well,
You're likely
he has a
to.
3 drop. If he didn't draw a land there, he'd just
Yeah,
be stuck with his 3 drop, not being able to be cast. And
I think you're likely to. I think you're likely to get the land though, and if you don't, then you still have the surveil as an out to use your mana. So
yeah,
I like using that there.
I trend towards the safer plays if I feel like I want to play that 3 drop. I'm just going to play it and not risk having no plays for the rest of the turn. But they work. You know, He has a lot of lands in the deck, so it works.
Yeah. We did get this T-Rex off the top, which is
Ooh, that's gonna be
very nice draw. That's
it's gonna be
a
tough
lot of
here.
extra life, a lot of stats on that creature, but
Yeah, he might have to just use his Pandora here. There's no really way around the 6/6. You can't really block it. He can't remove it. His
remind me,
spells don't line up well.
besides the Pandora, what's he got?
Oh well, he's still got his final days, his Blitzball shot that he's had since the beginning. He's got Cal the Mountain Chocobo and a mountain.
Yeah,
So
I almost feel like it's final days here because you're not so low that you're going to die. And 8 life, if you can just make 2 tokens, threaten that, that's 2 damage
well, he
guaranteed.
could play Call the Mountain Chocobo too, so he could just put a lot of bodies into play here.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah,
You can take a turn off,
yeah, and he's gonna get
let
to
the
deal 2 damage
6/6
in the
stay.
process. So
Yeah, yeah, you're just. If this. If these salvagers don't die, then the game's over.
okay, so he's building up quite a wide board here.
Uh, and we top deck a plains,
Well, that won't do.
which.
Is it just lands in hand here?
Yeah, it's just lands. We've got a forest and a plains.
Yeah, so likely next turn the Lunatic Pandora in combination with the Blitzball shot in hand should be enough
Yeah.
to get the game done. He's also drawn a self destruct, so that'll do it also
Yeah, you can just
potentially.
swing in with everything and win.
Oh yeah,
He does need to play around this forest because
huh? Okay,
if this is a reactive spell, then that's
so
problematic. But
he's just
I don't
attacking with one
hate.
creature.
So if he does kill the 3/5 here, that's lethal anyway.
Yeah, he does get to
Okay.
self destruct now. So
Oh yeah, yeah, he does have self. I
yeah,
forgot he had that. Yeah, so there
yes,
were a myriad of ways to get lethal there. Really just depends on what he feels his opponent can
yeah.
play around the least.
Have you played it all with or against self destruct? Because I've only seen it just be a fling, kind of like to kill my
I
creatures,
haven't.
which isn't
I
great.
haven't played with or against it. I think the dream of killing your opponent with this massive creature
Hmm.
isn't very likely this set. There's just not that many huge creatures stomping around. There's a lot of removal, so
Yeah, so it was presented
you
to me
don't
as
really want
better
to use it.
fling, which I don't think is that true. Like,
No, the
so
the
in
fact that
theory, yeah, in theory, if your creature has higher toughness than power, it survives. But it's also if your opponent removes your creature, the spell fizzles. Like a fling, you
yes,
actually have to sack your creature first, so it actually can't really be messed with. Um,
we are seeing
yeah.
another mulligan.
Oh
Sorry,
no.
sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but yeah, another mulligan,
Not great.
which is going to be really painful. We've mulliganed all 3 games for Renaud.
Yeah, I mean that's week one
Um,
kind of wonky mana. I
yeah,
mean
and he chooses.
the hands that Georgie have kept have not been the greatest either, but he's managed to get there. So what's he got in
Yeah,
hand here?
so Renaud's got another town greeter and a white ore site, and then 3 lands.
All right. So
So
you've got
it's
the
going to be
yeah.
rough.
You've got Esper Origins here. He's going to keep a forest, though he does have 2 black cards which he can't cast. He's got a Laughing Mad in hand, and he's got uh, Ether Drift All Star Standout Common Thunderhead Gunner here. If you remember
Oh,
that, if you
that's
remember
a.
that one,
I do. That
yeah,
was a very good card in Aether Drift.
I think it's just good. Period. I would say.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, so importantly, we just drew a fight on,
okay.
so we can get a wide variety off of that.
Yeah. Well, he dumped a bunch of cards in the graveyard, so that's always good. Yeah, so we
Yeah,
can laughing
double
mad
town
here,
creep.
discard the double black card. Yeah, that's so he's drawn more black cards without the mana to cast them. So he's just gonna cast his Esper Origins, go looking for black
Yep,
mana. Oh, there it is. There's a swamp, just like he drew it up.
very nice.
Right, so now his hand is unlocked.
We might just see a fight on because we have a Cloud of Darkness, which Renaud is looking at. So you take a Cloud of Darkness, yeah, take the Magitech
Sure.
infantry. We're going to be able to kill this 4/4.
Yeah, that's a beating.
Yeah, holding up. We've got another removal spell in hand. We've got a T-Rex in hand.
And
This is,
here comes the
and I
gunner.
expect we'll just, yeah. I mean, White Auracite into Magitech infantry is gonna keep on the pressure.
Yeah, this gunner was it's like the best version of this effect we've ever seen at common. I think
Yeah,
it
it
doesn't
was
tap.
really good.
It doesn't cost mana. Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
and we top deck a Black Mage's Rod, which is going to come out
yeah, deal
into the
damage. Yeah,
Aura site.
he's gonna take 6 overall here. Yeah,
So, yeah, we
things
are
are
just
chugging along here.
hammering away.
Yeah, yeah, that's the power of the town greeter, right? Town greeter into town greeter, fight on, get back your cloud of darkness. Like seems good.
Yeah,
We got a nice rare off the top here. I don't know if it's going to do enough or if he's going to cast it. The Kuja. That's the 3/4 that makes a 0/1 wizard every
oh,
time.
yeah, that's a very nice. It's a great card, but it's slow.
Yeah, because
I
he has
don't
5
think.
black cards in hand, he can only cast one of them,
Yeah,
which is going to limit his ability here. Like if he could have gone Black Mage's Rod into this Kuja, things might be a little
would have been
different.
a lot better. Oh, and we top deck a Chocomog, which
That's going to put the
that's
put
a
the pressure
lot
on.
of damage. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a board pump, and that's another board pump next turn. So looking like between this turn and next turn, we are getting this game potentially over with. 12 here can attack for 3, 6, 10. Oh no, he's going to get in for 11.
He's gonna get in for
Yeah.
11. Yeah.
And then any spell just ends the game. Yeah, so I mean, the 3 color mana bases are wonky. We're mulliganing. We're keeping hands that maybe only have 2 of the colors, but Renault definitely curved out here in a very frightening manner.
Yes.
And a blitzball shot on top is not going to do anything. She's just going to have
Yeah,
to
it turns
zero that
out
one
just
away.
playing one card every turn gets there sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You
well,
know?
Georgii was not doing that for the first few turns, so he fell enough behind that there's not going to be a way out here with only able to cast one spell. So he can't gain life. He can't remove anything. So yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunate.
this is over.
And I suppose he does get to transform his Kuja, so that's cool, but
That is,
ultimately not going
yeah.
to be not going to be enough. Yeah. Gets another
Showing off
Magitech.
the Magitech.
Well, he's going to send him home with some damage here. He's going to say, "Let me do this. I want to
Wow.
deal 6 to you before
Wow.
I before I go on my way here."
I know we've talked in the Discord about people getting, multiples of the same common quite a bit. That's been a
Yep,
prolific discussion. Gotta say, getting 4 Magitech infantry in your sealed pool is one of the better hits to get multiples of.
that's gonna get you. That's gonna give you some mileage, especially in the early weeks. In the later
That
weeks,
is,
maybe it might get outclassed.
yeah,
But congratulations to Renault here. Just a very coherent draw in that third game, and the Cloud of Darkness coming down on curve, wiping out the 4/4 made the difference here. So congratulations to Renault on the win, and we'll see you in a little bit for our second match of the week.